Yes, Moto G Power 2024. It's a budget phone that was released last year from the brand Motorola, and it has a lot to offer. So as you can see right now, you definitely clearly see it's dual cameras on the back there. Main sensor is 50 megapixels, and the secondary one is ultra wide with LED flash. And then on the back of the device, or excuse me, on the side of the device, you have a power button that doubles as a fingerprint scanner with your volume up and down keys. You got a mic up top. On the left side, you have a SIM tray slot there, as you can clearly see. And on the bottom of the device, you had a Type-C charging port, loudspeaker, and a headphone jack. Now up here, you do also have a speaker as well. So the device, it does feature dual speakers, which I think is really, really cool, especially for the price range. And you can see the cutout there for the camera. Front camera is 16 megapixels. So, decent front camera. As far as battery, it's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that has the capability of 30-watt fast charge, that's wired, and 15-watt wireless charge. So decent charging speeds, and the fact that you have wireless charging is awesome as well too. So I just think this phone has a lot to offer for the money. And when I say money, I mean you can get this phone for 149 bucks unlocked from Motorola website right now. Now looking at the display of the device, it is a 6.7 inch full HD display. So yeah, you get a full HD display. It's not 720p. And you also have NFC. Currently have it off here. NFC is featured on this device as well. And getting back to the display, it is 120 hertz. So it's going to be some super smooth scrolling speeds. Now, as far as what's powering this device, it is going to be the MediaTek Dimensity 7020, if I'm not mistaken. It's the Dimensity 7020. And it's paired up with 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage. So not the most storage space in the world, but enough for the average person. You shouldn't have any issues when it comes to that department. It's funny that this device is called the Power, and that's one of the complaints that I do have about it. It's not really a thing to stop you from buying. It's just one of those things where it's just like Motorola budget phones currently all feature a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and it's something they've been doing for years. So I'm not sure why they still call this device the Power. Like, I think if they're going to give it the Power name, they should just make sure this one has the biggest battery of all the phones. Instead of it being 5,000 like the other ones, this one should feature 6 or 7. But that's just my opinion. Maybe they'll do that in the next one that comes out in 2026, but we shall see. Now, as far as performance overall, this is a pretty good performing phone. And when it comes to watching things like, YouTube, so we can scale it all the way up to 1440p at 60 frames per second, and it's HDR. So I am showing you this, and I'm mentioning all that because the 2025 version, if I'm not mistaken, does not have HDR on the display, and I think it's a slightly slower phone than this one here. So I think the 2025 version of the Moto G Power is actually a downgrade. That's my opinion. That display is beautiful. So a really good looking display. The camera is showing you what the quality looks like, but I can tell you in person, it's a really good quality display. Now, as far as overall, like raw numbers, when it comes to Geekbench, you're going to see it here. It's not the fastest thing in the world. And I literally just did this test a couple minutes ago, like right before I shot this video. Single core score is 911 and multi-core score is 2288. So it's not the fastest thing in the world when it comes on paper. But one thing to mention is the fact that out of the box, when you get this phone, it is going to have Android 14, and you do have the Android upgrade to 15, or excuse me, you had the Android 15 update. And this is funny because this phone actually got Android 15 update faster than the stylus here. So I thought that was kind of funny because this is the unlock model, and this one is the carrier model. So I don't know, maybe the carriers got prioritized more than the unlock models. Who knows? But yeah, that's what the Geekbench scores look like. And if you take it over to a 2.2 benchmark, you got a score of 445,573. So when it comes to these numbers, it's not going to be the fastest thing in the world. But when you actually look at everyday usage, that's when it really matters. Okay, that's what really matters when it comes to a phone. It's not the numbers on paper, unless you got something that's supposed to be extremely powerful and it's extremely slow. But that's rarely the case with phones and devices that are coming out these days. Now, battery life is going to be amazing on this phone here. That's one thing you are not going to complain about. Battery life in Motorola phones. It's just never really an issue. Now, going into the cameras, like I said, you're gonna have a 50 megapixel camera on the rear and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. And so you get some decent shots out of this device here. It's not bad at all. And then of course you can take it over to the wide angle mode. And then when you get into video, go here. You can change it from 1080p 30 and 60 frames on the rear camera. And then on the front, you only have 30 frames, which is not really a surprise to me, but it's a budget phone, so I'm not really expecting it to do too much. But the fact that you get 30 and 60 on the rear, it's actually not too bad at all. Can't really complain about that. But pictures and videos do come out decently well in this phone here. It's a solid performing camera for the money that you're spending. And let me give you guys an example of the fingerprint scanner. So check that out. Works really well. Oh, not recognized. Works really well here. You gotta give it a quick tap. I think you can press it too, but I like to give it a tap. Now, when it comes to gaming on this device here, I did play Genshin Impact, and it wasn't like, anything amazing. I had it running at 30 frames per second. You could probably squeeze it at about 60 if you overclock it, but the thing about it is this is going to be a little bit stuttery. It's just not going to be as smooth. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because I've noticed in my experience from using Motorola phones or just any phone in general, if it has a Snapdragon processor in it, it's going to perform a little bit better than the MediaTek processors. Unless you have like some super high-end processor from MediaTek, the budget ones are just not going to be it when it comes to playing games like Genshin Impact. I got the Moto G stylus, like I showed you guys earlier. It's the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1, and I'm running at 60 frames per second. No issues with this device. And I'm playing it, and I can play it for hours. Okay, so it's not even close. So gaming is going to be solid, but nothing amazing. This is for the person who just needs a phone that has amazing battery life, decent cameras, decent display. You don't want bare minimum things. You want at least a little bit of everything, and this is what that phone offers to the average consumer. So in the comments section below, let me know, do you currently have the Moto G Power of 2024, and do you recommend it to other people as well over the 25? And if not, let me know. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your family and friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.